here, the Misophonia therapist, and in today's video I am going to reflect a little on a post, or rather a comment I spotted in one of the support groups for misophonia. And the person writing the post said that somebody in her workplace had made a comment to her about just controlling her response to somebody, the sound that somebody was making, eating in the office. So basically the colleague just said, look, can't you just control it? As if there were an off switch. And it just got me thinking a little bit about how much this condition, misophonia, is so widely misunderstood. I think it's a good thing that it seems to be creeping a little into the public domain now through various media, but still so many people just seem to think of it as being like an active choice that you can just somehow switch it on and off like you would if you were switching on a light. And I am sure that anyone with misophonia is very acutely aware of the seemingly erratic nature of this disorder. It just seems to have no logic. It seems so random in how it behaves. So if somebody somewhere does something or makes a noise that just seems to, without any rhyme or reason, produce this intense rage, it just doesn't feel like you invited it in. It just happens. And the reason it happens, and I'm very vastly oversimplifying it now, is that your amygdala, which is part of the brain that's responsible for warning you when there is a risk to your safety, just seems to overreact to this sound. And it happens faster than the speed of light. You have no more ability to control it than you would the speed of light, if that makes sense. It's not something you can control. It's autonomous. It just happens like a reflex. And unfortunately, for the people that I see in my practice who have had exposure therapy or other types of therapy where they do focus a lot on the trigger, I'm sure many of you this may resonate with you, but it just seems to make it worse because you are focusing on the very thing that your amygdala really does not like. And if you fight it, try to control it, try to switch it off, it's not going to work because you're battling against a very primitive, powerful part of the mind that has somehow decided that noise is a risk to your safety. So you can't reason with it, you can't use logic, and you most certainly cannot switch it off. And quite ironically as well, paradoxically, if you try to switch it off, battle it, make it go away, it's just going to make it worse. Because when you battle, fight, even using that kind of language triggers the fight or flight response, which is then going to flood your body with cortisol and adrenaline, ramping up the very part of the brain that you're trying to control. And it's going to make it even more hypersensitive. It's what we call a paradox in therapy. So the more you try to do something, the less likely it is you're going to achieve it. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be back tomorrow with more content. Bye for now.